Hi, good afternoon, Andrea Horwath's office.
Yeah, it's Robert Burgess calling. Did you get my emails that I sent you?
Good afternoon, Mr. Burgess. How are you?
Not bad.
Good. So, Mr. Burgess, we've had this discussion, and unfortunately, there's not much more that we can do to assist you on this case file. I know that it's not something that you agree with, and it's unfortunate. However, based on everything with our conversations with the OPIRD and reviewing your emails, unfortunately, there isn't anything that our office can do to assist you.
Okay, I just talked to the Premier's office, and they said because the MOU, the Memorandum of Understanding, says that the Attorney General is accountable to the Ontario Legislature. So I wrote to the Premier asking her to talk to the Attorney General's office because they're covering up my complaints against the OPIRD. Her office said that's a conflict of interest for her. Is that true?
It sounds to me from all indications that it would be, yeah.
Why would it be a conflict of interest?
Did you ask them that?
Yeah.
Okay, and what was their response?
They said because she tells them what to do, she could pass laws.
Yep.
That's not a conflict of interest.
Well, according to the Premier's office, it is.
No, yeah, the guy's covering it up, though. I looked up her interests have to conflict. They're not conflicting. She wants them to do their job properly. So why would she shut them down?
Again, this is all questions for the Premier's office. I can't answer them.
Okay, so why are you not going to explain to me what it says in the MOU that says you can't help?
Yep. I would say it's right now that, the reason why the Premier can't get involved is the same reason why Andrea is not getting involved.
Yeah, it doesn't say that, though. It's not a conflict of interest for Andrea to get involved. Well, she's not the Premier.
No, she's not the Premier. You're right. But she is a member of the Legislative Assembly. Yep. And that there is a separation of powers when it comes to the independent office of the police. No.
I'm talking about the Attorney General's office. I'm not asking you guys to investigate the OIPRD. I'm asking you guys to investigate the Attorney General's office.
No, and we wouldn't investigate the Attorney General's office.
It says in the MOU you guys can. It says he's accountable to the Ontario Legislature.
Yep. So, Mr. Burgess, I understand that you're passionate about this issue. I understand that you disagree with this issue on how in our response, but Andrea is not going to call for an investigation of the Minister of the Attorney General. It's simply not going to happen based on your case specifically.
What's specifically about my case that is wrong?
Your police complaint. There's a process in which your police complaints are made. You have made that complaint to the appropriate channels. Yep. Unfortunately, it was denied, and unfortunately, there isn't anything more that we can do based on your issue.
What about my issue stops you from doing anything more?
That we've examined the process that went underway to review your complaint. Yeah. We are satisfied that the process was followed.
Okay, so you believe that the landlord-tenant board deals with complaints against police?
I'm not commenting on the specifics of your case. I'm commenting on the process that was taken to review complaints against the police, and based on our assessment that there isn't anything more that we can do with regards to your complaint. That your complaint was filed, it was appropriately addressed, and a decision was made.
But you're saying it was appropriately addressed. Explain to me where it says that the landlord-tenant board can deal with complaints against police.
What we are saying, sir, is that they've made a determination as to whether or not to proceed with your complaint. And you believe that determination was appropriate? I believe that the process was a fair process.
Okay,
I cannot comment on whether or not it was. So that's where we're looking at here, right? And so what you're asking for is for the Ministry of the Attorney General's office to investigate a process in which we've looked at and determined, based on that in which complaints are made, that they looked at your complaint fairly, even though you may not like the decision, but that the decision was rendered.
Okay, so you believe the decision was fair?
I believe that the process was fair. Just because, sir, so what I will say is, you may not agree with the outcome, but that the process of filing your complaint, it being appropriately investigated and looked at, and then a decision being made, that's the process that we've determined was one in which there was not there wasn't ground for us to look at it and say that your case wasn't fairly and justifiably looked at. When we looked at it, we determined that it was. And it's unfortunate that you do not like the outcome, but there's nothing more that we can do.
Okay, so tell me where in the landlord-tenant board it says they can deal with complaints against police. Because I looked at it, and it doesn't say anything about complaints against me. But you're saying it was fair. You're saying the process was fair. How can it be fair if they covered it up?
Okay. Is there anything else I can help you with today?
No.
Okay. All right. Sir, I wish you all the best. I do have to go.
You understand, truth has a way of coming out, and when it comes out, you're going to jail. You're going to jail for obstruction of justice. There's no limitation period on those charges, you know.
So, sir, here's what I will say, right? Going forward, I would encourage you to direct your questions about the complaint to the Premier's office, because unfortunately there's nothing more that we can do. Okay?
So if you can't help, how can the Premier's office help?
Well, she's the Premier, sir.
But you just said it was a conflict of interest for her to get involved.
Saying if you have questions with regards to your case, you can contact the Premier's office.
I'll see you in court.
Look forward to it, sir.
Okay, bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.